commencing.
Third set between the JangBi and the ZerO. And I'm glad that ZerO's finally able to step it up in that game. He didn't melt like he did in the first set. He was really able to show his strength as a player, which is very important in a semifinal. Got to utilize those strengths in a series. But JangBi went for the weirdness in the first set, which ZerO couldn't cope with. But the more standard opening, he could cope with. Except, I mean, even with the Dark Archon, it was pretty standard. So maybe that's what ZerO prepared for, and it's definitely what he's best at, standard PvZ. But down at the 5 o'clock position in white is JangBi. Down at the 8 o'clock position in blue is ZerO. This is on Gladiator, Russell Crowe. Alrighty. You know, I had a dream last night, which I think might have been a dark prophecy of this particular semifinal. I took a sleeping pill because I was so tired, and I had just probably the craziest dream I've ever had. And I think it was just a dark prophecy, a dark vision of the future for this particular series, on the amount of wackiness it will be. Speaking of wackiness, JangBi is putting his pylon inside the main, so it's another gateway first opening from JangBi. Of course it is, why wouldn't it be? But anyway, about this dream. So in the dream, I saw an iguana in my front yard. I was like, wow, an iguana, I've never seen a live, wild iguana before. So I went to get my camera, I started snapping some photos of it, and then a giraffe walks by. I was like, I didn't know West Virginia had giraffes. Yeah, which is kind of stupid in retrospect, that I wouldn't think it was a dream, but anyway. More animals started showing up, like grizzly bears, and I was like snapping photos of all these things. And then, Ewoks showed up from Star Wars. 2-gate opening from JangBi, by the way. But anyway, Ewoks with knives started running at me. I screamed and slammed the door. Tried to survive as they were like breaking through the door, like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. So that was definitely one of the craziest dreams I've had in a while, and I think it was a good prophecy for this particular series. But anyway, 2-gate opening from JangBi. How's that for a commentary intro? Alright. Second base on the way now for ZerO, but he did open with spawning pool first, which will put him in a better position to fend off the Zealots. Yeah, with the 2-gate opening, this is not the same kind of Dark Templar rush that JangBi did in the first set. He's going to have nothing but Zealots for a while. And I'm glad that the Gateway first build has kind of made a comeback in the past year or so. Yeah, for a long time it was just Forge Fast Expand. For many, many years, just Forge Fast Expand, unless the map called for something different. Like on Outsider, I think a lot of Protoss players utilized Gateway first. And this particular map, I guess since it's the sunken main, able to move up and hold your choke with the Zealots. But the ZerO Zerglings coming in, skirting past the Zealots. Yeah, this is kind of why Protoss players don't go Gateway first these days. The freaking Zerglings are so hard to deal with. So you gotta chase them around. The Zealots are like, I don't get paid enough for this crap. Zealots chasing around the Zerglings, trying to get rid of them before they kill a probe. But JangBi seems to be up on his probe micro today. Yeah, just pulling all the probes off, fighting back with his wacky particle beams. Which, I mean, big groups of probes are very good at taking down Zerglings. It's always funny to me when a bunch of probes group up, they all shoot the particle beams at the same time and just kill a Zergling, one-shot a Zergling. Very funny. But ZerO is trying to sneak by with more Zerglings. But JangBi, he has a bunch of Zealots out for the defense. JangBi's initial plan was to move out and cause some problems for ZerO, since he thought that ZerO would probably expand first before throwing down the spawning pool. But that's not the way it went. So he's kind of forced to play defensively for now, just kind of begrudgingly chasing around the Zerglings for now. Zerglings trying to get a probe kill. Probes take out one. Trap the Zergling, take it out. But JangBi is still in there with the scout. He has to see the next building that comes down or the lair morphing. He has to get that information. at this point to be ready for what ZerO is going to do. But JangBi has plopped down his second base, got that Nexus going already. And the Assimilator, going to start taking up soon. No, freaking annoying Zergling being chased off again by the Zealot. So about 6 or 7 Zealots at the front to hold. For now, let's see, the lair is coming up, and JangBi did see that. His probe almost going down. He's got the scout, but it is at very low health. And, oh, the drone takes out the probe. So, let's see if the lair continues to come up for ZerO. He can definitely cancel and throw down the Hydralisk in or something. But here comes the Cybernetics core from JangBi. Getting up to Cybernetics, and he's going to have his second base soon. Okay, let's take a look at what ZerO is doing. He's trying to hunt down the next scout from JangBi. JangBi moved out with another probe. Going to try to sneak in and see what ZerO is doing. ZerO putting down the Hydralisk Den. But he still has the lair morphing as well. So it's either going to be a lurker strategy or a drop type of strategy. Oh, he could definitely work on the Overlord speed, which would help out against the crazy kind of stuff that JangBi's been doing in this series. But here comes the probe. The probe does get the scout. Surprised that probe made it through. To get inside the main and scout this, but some more Zerglings being pulled back by ZerO to finally get rid of this scout. But JangBi sees it, and he's going to prepare for a Hydra bust. He saw the Hydralisk Den, so he needs to be prepared for the worst possible scenario, the Hydra bust. So he's building some cannons at the front, just in case. Got 3 cannons going at that natural expansion, and 2 gateways inside of his main, building the Stargate as well. Finally get out Corsairs to scout. It'll be very important for the scouting information later. Okay, Hydra is being morphed now by ZerO. Is that a 4th cannon? I think that was a 4th cannon from JangBi at the front. So he's going to be completely prepared for any Hydra bust. But I don't think it's going to be a cookie cutter Hydra bust with the lair coming up as well. We'll have to see. Because ZerO was switching between Muta and Hydra in the last game. So he could definitely go the same kind of route in this game. But he has the 2 creep colonies at the front, just in case. He had those just in case his Zerglings were taken down. But he hasn't morphed them into the Sunkens yet. Doesn't want to use those 100 minerals for that just yet. But the Hydras are hanging outside the natural expansion. JangBi is safe for now, but the Overlords have speed. Yeah, the Overlords have speed, so ZerO is already working on that upgrade, and he could definitely move to drop after this, which would be crazy. But he has the speed, so he's able to get to the front with all of his Overlords. But he's grouped up with quite a few Overlords at this natural expansion, which could definitely indicate a drop. He's kind of scouting back here behind the main, getting in to see exactly what JangBi is doing. Cannon inside the main. JangBi is preparing for a drop from ZerO. So he's throwing down cannons inside of his main. Like, yeah, you want to try a drop inside of here? Try it, buddy. Try it. But he probably will need the static. He's building another cannon inside that main, probably going to try to get a nice line of them going to fight back a drop. He's preparing for that drop, and he's preparing at the front. He's got cannons coming up all over the place. And, yeah, another forge on the way for more upgrades. But with that forge taken down at the front, not sure if the Hydras were able to focus that down or not. I mean, where was the forge? I'm kind of confused when there's not a forge fast expand. Gotta hunt down the forge. I think that forge was at the front and was taken down. Yeah, pretty sure. But okay, the Hydra's grouping up. Look at all those Overlords. JangBi knows what's coming his way, but the question is he going to be able to deal with it? He has plenty of cannons at the front, and all of his Zealots are focused there, but at a moment's notice, he's going to have to be ready to pull back with those Zealots. At a freaking moment's notice, as soon as he sees the massive amount of Overlords coming in, he's got to be ready. And he has to get over there with his Corsair to know when that's happening. Yeah, he's got a couple of cannons over there. Lurkers morphing for ZerO. He's going to drop Lurkers inside of that main. Dear God. So, okay. The Overlords grouping up. getting all the troops ready to go. And going to try to drop there. Here comes JangBi pulling back with his entire army inside of the main. And he has observers, so the lurkers shouldn't be that big of a problem. He's fighting back the overlords now. The overlords getting close to dropping. They're being scared off by the sheer amount of zealots. But I think that ZerO is committed to this, trying to find a way to drop. Of course, not much to take on the overlords. The overlords is going down, trying to find an opportunity, a place to drop. No, dropping right inside of the mineral line with all these lurkers. There's a storm from JangBi, double storm from him. Taking out quite a few hydras and just grinding down the lurker force with those zealots. They're trying to come in here with the zealots, clean this up. But the observers are pointing out that JangBi has no probes inside of this main. I'm not sure if they were all taken down by lurker shots or if he stormed on top of them. I don't think he took down too many with his own storm, but no, he probably just, he had his probes transferred away. I mean, now he's trying to get them back inside the main to mine some more, but this is going to be a huge pain for him. Oh, nice block from ZerO, using the lurker egg to block and keep his hydras safe, at least as long as he can. And the egg goes down finally. But ZerO grouping up with more troops to move inside this main. There are so many cannons at the front, and I'm not sure that would be viable to break through the front, so I think he will just keep dropping inside the main. Which, I'm not sure if JangBi's going to be prepared for this next drop. No, JangBi! Oh, going to have to move in with his High Templar. Oh, huge drop. High Templar moving up to storm on top of the lurker specifically. I get to group of hydras in that attack. The lurker's getting close to all the production buildings, though. Might be able to take down the gateways, but JangBi's in big trouble. G from JangBi. All of his important units went down. So, oh man, the reigning champ on the ropes. ZerO's one game away from moving into his first OSL final. Okay, let's move on to that fourth set.